Hello, welcome back to another Mail Day video, and as always I'm probably going to inject far too much of a backstory into this than I need to, but that's just the way I like to do these things. Today I feel like, well, it has been a long day coming, and I'm not talking about the Blu-rays I'm about to show you either. For the past 3.5 years I've had a gaping hole in one of my teeth that I've put off for far too long, so today I went and had it drilled open with the raw nerve exposed, and the anesthetics are just wearing off now, and I just swallowed about 80 aspirin. I'm just kidding. So yeah, it's been a rough day, and the worst is yet to come, and I've been told to expect something close to giving birth for the next 2 days, which is fun. I told my mum that, and she said bollocks, and that made me feel a lot better, and she said tooth pain is a lot worse than giving birth. And then my heart dropped. So yeah, it's been a shit day, but who knew this was the day of all days that quite a few packages turned up in the mail, it being mail day, of course. So as you can see here, quite a huge package and a couple of ones from Amazon. I've already opened the huge one just to check the contents inside, and it had a shitload of packing stuff in there, so it would have been such a cluster if I'd opened it on camera. And it's from a fellow Blu-ray.com member who's selling a lot of his collection. And so yeah, so I had a veritable shit ton of packages today. Well, 3 packages, but a lot of films contained within them. So let's get to the contents of the big package that I bought from someone who was selling all of their collection, as I said. 2 Criterions. The first one, The Rules of the Game. Know absolutely nothing about this whatsoever. I just know that it's directed by Jean Renoir, who is a acclaimed French director. I think The Grand Illusion was his as well. I have that on Blu-ray, haven't watched it yet. I know this is it pre-World War II? Or was made during World War II. It's a scathing critique of corrupt French society cloaked in a comedy of manners. I know that it's a group of people in kind of a high-class society in France, kind of, you know, having a get-together, I guess. But this is acclaimed as one of those great films, so of course I have to watch it, especially considering the fact that it is in the book 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die, and it's got a nice thick and hefty booklet there. And a huge part of this film was lost for many years, decades in fact, and was then found again. And so this is kind of the more complete version, which is always nice, because I believe there was some kind of outcry about it when it came out. The next one, kind of keeping it within the theme of French cinema, this is a Criterion I've wanted for many years actually. The complete Jean Vigo, and I guess that this was a young filmmaker who had a very promising beginning to his career, and it was cut short due to his untimely death, and so he only made 4 films and only one feature. So it has his 3 short films. The first one is 23 minutes and is silent, and then there's a 9-minute short, a 44-minute short, and then a 87-minute feature, which is L'Atalante. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that one, the feature, which is kind of, I guess, the main selling point of this Blu-ray. I'd seen about 10 minutes of it a few years ago. I was going through films in the book. The storyline seemed to intrigue me about this young married couple, and so I watched the first 10 minutes. I thought, you know what, I'm going to wait and buy the Criterion. So I've been waiting years literally to get back to this film. And I like the idea, even if it's unfortunate that this filmmaker died young. It's nice to have like a complete career. Well, I guess it wasn't even really a complete career. I mean, it was his first film in 1930, 1934. I mean, a few years, that's not even a career, is it? But, you know, to have the complete works of a director is always interesting to me, to go through them and kind of, you know, see the differences. Maybe there aren't much. If he was only making films for 4 years, who knows? There's audio commentaries on the films, an alternate edit of one of them, and all sorts of different... Oh, there's all conversation between French filmmakers Francois Truffaut and Eric Romer on the film. So yeah, an animated tribute to Jean Vigo by filmmaker Michel Gondry. That's really cool. Director of one of my favourite films of all time, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Yeah, there's a shitload of special features on this one, which is pretty cool. And another one that has a really, really thick booklet, so That's really nice. I'm looking forward to getting back to that feature, but also to go back and see the short films as well. So the complete Jean Vigo. Two very cool French Criterions. Now, there are two more that came in the box, which is why the box was so big. And I'm really, really happy to own these. Two gorgeous collector's sets. The first one, I guess it would be the 50th anniversary edition of Ben-Hur. Gorgeous, gorgeous set. I just love like the embossing on the title. It feels so elegant. The black and then the kind of dark gold of the two statues and the title there. He didn't send them with the backing cards. I guess he didn't have them anymore, but that's fine, I guess. So nothing on the back. And this is something that I've always wanted. And for the price that I got it, it's practically giving it away, because I have Ben-Hur, the steelbook version, which has the film on 2 discs. But there are other versions of Ben-Hur with a 3rd disc with more special features. You can pick that up for about a tenner on Amazon, but I wasn't really paying that much more to get it in this form, which is really cool and exciting. And what that 3rd disc has is the 1925, I believe, silent version of Ben-Hur, which I really want to see, obviously. I think it's only in standard def, but I'm still really intrigued to see how they tackled that story with a scale of that kind of a story in 1925. I mean, I've seen some of those big epics like Intolerance, Die Nibelungen from the silent era that have these huge, you know, massive sets and stuff. But yeah, I don't know much about the silent version. I really want to check it out. So this is great to own, because Ben-Hur, you know, the one that this set is about, let's not get off track here, to me it is one of the greatest films ever made. It's not a favorite of mine, but I just think it's one of the best just productions ever. And what's so cool about it is that you have this huge, massive scale to everything, and the production design is so impressive, and the story is so big, but it's, you know, you boil it down and it's about kind of a friendship, you know, and I think everyone can relate with a friendship that goes bad, you know, and I think it's such a universal story. I think that's probably why it works so well, is that, you know, you get drawn in by the spectacle and you stay for that kind of very human story. So inside we have a really nice hardback book, which no doubt, I mean, it's even embossed on the front with the title and everything, and man, what a way to open it up there. A scene from the chariot race. I haven't even looked through this yet, and it doesn't seem to be too substantial in terms of the text, but it has like the cast listing and you know, just nice big pictures, nice big images, nice, you know, just colour. So we got Charlton Heston in his office with the Oscar for Best Actor. You know, just cool stuff like that. You know, I love stuff like this, where a film that is so big and important to film history is kind of curated in a set like this and given the deluxe treatment that it deserves. This is a really, really nice digipack, really nice sturdy stock for the movie itself. Open it up, you got some nice images again, just really, really nice. And oh, the leaflet is still inside. And so there we have the movie spread over 2 discs, and the 3rd Blu-ray, which has all the cool special features, which I believe my older edition doesn't have, because it was only 2 discs. Now that alone is really nice, but there's one final extra inside this box set which I think really pushes it over the top, and it's still got its kind of paper sleeve slip cover there. Take that off. This is a reproduction of Charlton Heston's journal, and again, just the quality of it, really, really nice. It's got his name in gold embossed at the bottom, and introduction that kind of sets everything up. But once you get into the main thing of it, man, even the paper feels diary-like. So this is a reproduction of his diary, I believe, before, during, and after the production of Ben-Hur, and so it's all typed out on the bottom there. You know, you've got like C. W.M. Stevenson at 9006 Sunset Boulevard, 5 p.m. go to the gym, 6 p.m. run dailies of the prologue, field with high tea. Like, it's got all of its, you know, the whole stuff is here. And also there's I flicked through it and there's a couple of points where they've thrown in other things, like a photograph taped on the inside of the page. You know, just little details like that I think is really, really cool. It's not often that you see stuff like that that's got so much detail and attention to it than this. I think this is one of the coolest physical extras to a film home video release I've ever seen. and there's been some cool ones, but not only is this unique, it's substantial as well. I mean, I could see myself spending a few hours reading through that, so that's really cool. Alright, so I've shown you quite a bit of that. That's pretty much an unboxing video. I don't need to do another video on this one. But yeah, so Ben-Hur, you know, it's one of those ones that I'll probably watch every few years. It's just such an experience, you know. And yeah, for the price, just steal. So, and the guy packed it so incredibly well. So if he ever ends up seeing this video, thank you so much, because and I didn't realize that kitchen roll could be that protective, because the whole box is full of kitchen roll, but it really worked. It really did. And then finally we have, and you probably guessed that it's another one of those Warner Brothers Deluxe sets. I'm not sure. Oh, 7th anniversary. So the 70th anniversary collector's edition of Casablanca. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Number 41,736 of 81,000. So super limited. Again, really nice embossed treatment of the title on the front. Gorgeous image of Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman on the front. Not much on the back, but the title of the movie. Open it up, and it's the same kind of stuff as Ben-Hur. There's not as many cool physical extras on this one, but still, I mean, just the cover of this alone, the book is so cool. And this is another one of those films that I think is one of the greatest films ever made, and I would probably make a case for this one being just that little bit better than Ben-Hur as well, or at least a little bit more watchable. And so you get all kinds of good stuff in here, as you could probably imagine. Production of the film, you know, just notes, maps, sketches, storyboards, you know, scale drawing of one of the models in the film. It's got the people accepting the Academy Awards, you know, so all sorts of cool stuff in the book. The one physical extra here, apart from the book, is this thing here, which is, again, really nice kind of material to it. Feels really classy and high-end, and you open it up and you have 4 coasters inside, which are related to the film. Got Casablanca on that one, Blue Parrot on that one, and then of course we have Ricks on that one. So that's cool. I don't know if I'll use them, and nor do I know if they've been used by the guy who sold them to me, so I'll have to ask him about that actually. Have you used those coasters? And then finally we have the film. And again, I already own this. I have the very nice steelbook edition of it, but there is another reason I wanted to get this one. So you get the digipack here, which doesn't feel as sturdy as the Ben-Hur one. Oh, and this is nice. We have the listings of all the special features on the inside card there. And so that's on the second Blu-ray disc, and then there's a third DVD with the movie. So 3 discs there. Now, what I really wanted this one for was the second Blu-ray disc, which has, you must remember this, the Warner Brothers story, which is, I think, a 5+ hour long documentary on the history of the Warner Brothers studio. And I'm assuming it's more in the, you know, the beginnings of the studio, obviously, but up to maybe the golden era. I don't think it goes too far into the modern kind of decades of cinema, at least modern as we see it. But you know, there's ridiculous amounts of special features on the first disc as well. But that second disc seems to be mainly a love letter to the studio of Warner Brothers itself. So that's a big part of film history, and that's something I want to watch. So again, the price I paid for this, that we agreed on for this set, really kind of is quite astounding, I think. There's a couple of marks around the edge of the box, but nothing too substantial. Again, an absolute steal. So there we go, the Casablanca 70th anniversary edition. And now I've got a few things from Amazon. The first one here, in a small package, is a DVD. Yes, I still do buy DVDs every 8 months or so. And a lot of people were kind of getting on my back about this. I did a Buster Keaton Blu-ray collection video, I think about a year and a few months ago. And I said that I'd like to see a new documentary about Buster Keaton, like a modern documentary, so that his legacy could be brought to the forefront again and stuff like that. And people were like, man, did you not know that there's already a definitive documentary on Buster Keaton called Buster Keaton, A Hard Act to Follow, produced in 1987? I was like, okay, well, sorry. I was aware of it, I just hadn't got to it yet. And what I meant was like a theatrical documentary, like you have like Senna and there's been so many great Marley, I guess mostly musical figures and kind of sports legends are kind of focused on more, Muhammad Ali, things like that. But I'd love to see like a big just Keaton, just Buster, just like a proper like marquee level documentary on Buster Keaton. But apparently this already does the job, and it is Buster Keaton, a hard act to follow. This is a network released DVD. And it is an award-winning documentary written, produced and directed by David Gill and the legend Kevin Brownlow, who's just such a champion of film restoration and preservation. So this has 3 episodes. The first one covers Keaton's early years. The second episode covers The General, probably his best film, and what cost him his creative freedom. And then episode 3 covers his career after the silent era, and altogether that runs to 150 minutes, so a good 2.5 hours there, and apparently it's very, very good. I've seen reviews on Amazon saying that this isn't the version that was broadcast in, was it 87? I'm not sure. That date just seems to kind of stick in my mind for some reason. I know this was produced in the 80s. Yes, 1987, Thames Television. Apparently this is a little bit different from the TV version for some reason. I don't know. Obviously I'm not going to notice any of those changes unless they're that kind of bold. But I really am looking forward to this and checking out the hype that is this documentary. Of course, I'm a huge Buster Keaton fan, so I definitely wanted to check it out. And then finally we have 2 newish Blu-rays. One of them is very new actually, from Amazon UK. In fact, I got the Buster Keaton DVD from like, I think Amazon France or something. It was a little bit cheaper than in the UK. So the first one we have here is another Criterion. And this is a fairly new Criterion release. It's a UK release, but it was just released in the US as well. His Girl Friday. We got Cary Grant and Rosalind Russell, directed by Howard Hawks. Now, I believe Howard Hawks did Bring Up Baby, did he not? And if so, then that's a big reason for me wanting this. And this is another film that's in the book, 1,000 More Movies You Must See Before You Die. This release is packed. It has 2 Blu-rays, including a bonus film, The Front Page, from 1931, which I believe is kind of, I guess His Girl Friday is a remake or something. That must be why they've included it. It's adapted from the play, The Front Page. Okay, so there's quite a strong connection between The Front Page and His Girl Friday. Loads of special features, just stacked release. And Howard Hawks and Cary Grant, I'm all in. I can't wait to see this. I'm hoping for a real great kind of screwball comedy with just motor-mouth dialogue and a peppy kind of romance to go along with it. So, His Girl Friday. And this went down in price. So if it's still there, go grab it, because I think I had about £15 of gift card credit on my account. So I paid, well, nothing for this for a start, which was great because it went down to about £14. And then finally, we have a brand new Indicator release from the UK. And I think I paid about £6 for this, which is incredible. The Big Heat from Fritz Lang. I've seen 2 of his sound films, but they were the ones he made in Germany in the beginning of the 30s, M and The Testament of Dr. Mabuse. This is from the 50s. I think he went over to America in the 30s, moved away from Germany, kind of hightailed it out of there as soon as Joseph Goebbels was saying, hey, we'd like you to do some films for us. And he's like, fuck that, I'm getting out of here. Made the right choice and fled the country. Well, I don't want to say fled, but he left, went to America, and just continued making films there. And I've never seen any of Fritz Lang's American movies, so I'm really intrigued to see how one of the greatest directors of all time, just based on seeing his silent films, what his filmmaking was like with, an American cast and that kind of stuff. This is from the 50s, I think, right? 1953. So I'm really, and I think this stars Gloria Graham, who I really liked in what was the film with Bogart? It was a great one. I reviewed it recently, In a Lonely Place. So I'm looking forward to seeing her in this, The Big Heat. I know nothing about it, but I'm buying it purely based on brand loyalty to Indicator, who do a phenomenal job with their releases. And the fact that the film was in the book, 1,000 More Movies You Must See Before You Die, how much of a big Fritz Lang fan I am. There's a brand new half-an-hour long appreciation filmed by Tony Raines, who's awesome, so I'm looking forward to hearing his thoughts on the film and Fritz Lang in general. Martin Scorsese talking about The Big Heat, Michael Mann talking about The Big Heat, so this is obviously a film that's held in high regard. So yeah, I'm not going to open all these because I've blathered on for far too long, but quite an awesome stack of Blu-rays to work my way through. Really happy with these, and yeah, it's great now to be at a point in my life where finally, after years of struggling, I'm almost there with all of you other people as far as working a full-time job goes. So that's awesome, and I can pick up some more stuff that I like. But I mean, mainly the deal I got from that guy from Blu-ray.com, it still blows my mind. And there's one more package he's sending me that I'm really looking forward to, and that will get its own video because it's quite a special set that I've wanted for years as well. So thank you for watching. Wish me well over the next couple of days. I'm starting to feel the pain materializing itself in my jaw. So yeah, gonna be an interesting couple of days. Getting back to 100% hopefully, even though I'll have to go and have another meeting at the dentist, which will be horrific. And hopefully these movies will get me through that waiting time, the horrible dread of knowing that there's even worse to come. Yeah, that's interesting bookend talking about my teeth, but I don't know, I guess I had to mention it, and I'll see you in the next video.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of calling into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.